So the black provocateur, Candace Owens, was at it again regarding Juneteenth.
If Nelson, if he couldn't, if Dr. King's work and whatever else is going on in America right now, and we've got perhaps one of the worst racial conditions going on. We got hatred between the races. We got poverty off the charts. We got 1 out of every black man don't have a job. We got 70 to 80% of every woman don't have a man, but she got children, leading households. There's something wrong somewhere.
So on Juneteenth, on Monday, she posted, "Juneteenth is still ghetto and made up. Hope everyone enjoys it." Now, I'm not sure what sparked Candace to post this about Juneteenth, but boy, did she really get it started with this post. So then you had the beta male himself, Mark Lamont Hill, respond, "All holidays are made up. You honor July 4th, which commemorates independence despite the fact that black people were still enslaved. You celebrate Thanksgiving, which whitewashes indigenous genocide." Now hold up, Mark Lamont Hill. Thanksgiving does not whitewash indigenous genocide. Boy, these liberals love to exacerbate things. They love to inflate things. They really do. They really do. I mean, Thanksgiving is about a time to give thanks. Were Native Americans treated harshly? Of course they were. Of course they were. And everyone needs to acknowledge that and recognize that. But to say that it whitewashes indigenous genocide, the hyperbole of this brother. Yet you're bothered by Juneteenth, which celebrates black freedom? Why? Well, I will say something about Juneteenth. Now, I wasn't going to post anything about Juneteenth. I just wasn't led to do that. And the reason why is because Juneteenth is one of those days that I know why Joe Biden and the Democrats did that. They do it all the time. They do it to give a bone to black people, to show them something, a little crumbs to keep their vote. I mean, that's all it is. It's just a political ploy by the Democrats, which they always do, because Democrats were the original racists. They were and still are the original racists. Just look at the history of the party. They're the original racists, but what they've done, they've twisted themselves to now they see themselves as an ally, or they portray themselves rather as an ally of black people. And black people, unfortunately, still by and large buy into the myth that the Democratic Party is fighting for them, when in our actuality, the Democratic Party is just using black people to stay in power. But I digress. And then you got this dude named Lim saying, also note her choice of the word ghetto. To Candace, anything associated with African American culture is ghetto, including our holidays. Now, one thing I will say is that there's a difference between African American culture and this culture that is portrayed or projected to the rest of the country as black culture. There's a big difference. Black culture is this hip hop, gangster, baby mama, no job, worthless dude, worthless woman culture. Just get drunk, have as many babies as you want. That culture, that hip hop culture. And that has been portrayed in the media, and that has been wrapped around as saying it's black culture. That's not black culture. That's not black culture. That's a ghetto satanic culture. True African American culture is rooted in our biblical principles, rooted in our biblical foundation. But what the government wants to do, and what the media and what the powers that be who want to separate us, who want to separate and destroy this country based upon race, have portrayed black people as that. And so that's why I have this channel, to give you a different perspective when it comes to black people in America, that we are biblical by and large. We're not what you see on hip hop videos. We're not what you see on these videos that are on social media of these young black people going to stores stealing stuff. That's not black culture. You hear me? That is the culture that has been created by the abandonment of men in the home. That is the culture that has been created by the government that has taken over these cities, created socialism within these cities. That's not black culture. That is Marxist socialist culture that is being wrapped in blackness. But I proceed. So then Candace responded, foremost, black American culture has gotten ghetto. I know you're used to the media lying to black Americans, pretending that high murder rates, illiterate children, and degenerate music is progress. Because, oh, look, we gave you Juneteenth. So So leave it. And then Candace also said something else. If you need your hand held, there are plenty of black and white liberal commentators to choose from that are training black Americans feel proud of the rot that surrounds them. I am not one of them. I will say this. Candace is right in the sense that the hip hop culture has really produced degeneracy. It's really produced illiteracy, has really produced debauchery in the black community. I will say that. But I will say that it's not just hip hop culture. This hip hop culture was actually formulated back in the 70s. It was formulated when the government came in, kicked out the fathers, and when the government becomes your daddy, this is the fruit that is produced. That's the fruit. I will not say all black culture is like that, because I know plenty of black families that are not like what you see portrayed, like I said, in these hip hop videos, in hip hop culture. That is what the media wants people to believe about black people, because you have to understand something. You have to understand, and we have to understand, that it benefits the black bougie elite, the ones I talk about all the time. It benefits them to be up here and everybody else down here, and it benefits those who want to keep black people in bondage, who do not want black people to know that they have agency, because they want to keep them in bondage, to keep their vote, to keep power over them. It's as simple as that. Listen to this mayor of Chicago talk about how he doesn't have a solution in place for what has happened in Chicago. It's not going to be a speedy solution, and the solution is going to be expedient rather pretty soon in Chicago, and all the violence that's taken place. And listen to some of the stuff he's actually looking to promote.
Johnson offered no quick solutions today after another violent weekend in Chicago. 64 people were shot, 11 fatally.
Our political editor Mike Flannery joins us now with more on what Brandon Johnson did say. Mike?
Well, Anthony and Natalie, in the clearest terms yet, the mayor signaled Chicagoans should not expect any relief this summer from what he called a problem he inherited.
40 days into my administration, as I said, we're all fully aware of what I've inherited. And what I've inherited has been systems of failures.
Now, the mayor spoke at a Southside event marking the Mellon Foundation's donation of nearly $7 million to establish or alter 8 historical memorials here in Chicago.
And so the impact that it's going to have, it's not only educating a generation of how these systems fail and harm people, but we also have the ability to tell our stories with our art.
Now, among the projects announced today, the setting of a memorial to George Washington that has been defaced on occasion will be altered by artist Amanda Williams.
And see, when you have stuff like that, you have people constantly pointing back to the white man, pointing back to the government and saying that's the root of your issue. That's your issue. That's the person that's holding you down. And when you do that, you're fostering hate, you're fostering animosity.
If Nelson, if Dr. King's work and whatever else is going on in America right now, and we've got perhaps one of the worst racial conditions going on. We got hatred between the races. We got poverty off the charts. We got 1 out of every black man don't have a job. We got 70 to 80% of every woman don't have a man, but she got children, leading households. There's something wrong somewhere. There's something wrong somewhere. Now, to beat that old dead horse and say that the white man is doing it, that is the silliest, most asinine, foolish thing I've ever heard. Because if you say 70 to 80% of every homes are headed by women and not by men, and to say the white man is the reason for that, if you believe that, you might as well just give up. Because essentially what you're saying, we can't beat the white man. He's too much for us. We can't beat him. We tried, we marched on him, we cussed him out, but he's still beating us. Every time we turn around, he's beating us. He keeps us down in the gutter. He keeps us running away from us. The white man keeps beating us. We can't beat him. It's the white man that's holding us down, is what you're saying.
But yet, this channel, the purpose of this channel is to make sure, look, no. We have agency. Black people, we can do things in this country if you place your hope and trust in God, if you believe in Jesus, if you recognize that you are created in the image of God, man, you don't have to be subservient to nobody. You don't have to give in to your darkest impulses and act in a way that is not human, that's inhumane, to shoot each other, to kill each other, to lay around with every woman that you see walking down the street. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be a victim. We are not victims. We are empowered for greatness. And so while Candace says that Black American culture has gotten ghetto, I will not say Black American culture has gotten ghetto. I will say that the governmental culture that has been created in the Black community is ghetto.